Yes, it's your boy Paul STEPHAN. We're right here in the past podcast with my guy Maweed. We're talking about a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Straight from the real, keep it locked.
Yes.
We're
Man,
moving.
like, bro, bro.
We're moving.
We out here, man. I'm actually so gassed. I've been looking forward to this one since we booked it in.
Come on.
And I'm really happy you've managed to come, man, because
Yeah,
obviously
man.
you live a little bit of a distance away.
Yeah, man. For those who don't know, obviously, come from a place called Thamesmead.
Jeez.
If you know, you know. If you don't, then
Where's that,
don't
South East?
express. Yeah, it's South East, actually. The outskirts of South East.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it still London though?
yeah, it's London, a bit of London towards Kent sort of thing. It's like the
Swear.
suburbs, if you want to
I
put
can
it
hear
like
the
that.
Kent in your accent a little bit, I think.
yeah, if you
can
want to
hear
put it like that.
Yeah, a little
like,
bit. A little bit.
We're probably like the only place it doesn't have a train station in the South East London region. Yeah. Let me just sum that up, innit?
Yeah.
It's like South East.
Okay.
My postcode's SE anyway, so
SE.
South East.
So it's still South East.
Yeah, still South East.
So for people who may not know, obviously this is the Puff Podcast. I'm the host, Maweed Majid.
Big up.
Every week I bring in guests to come and share their story with us, let us know about their backgrounds, where their kind of influences have come from, and how they've got to the position they are today. So
Yeah.
Paul is someone I actually kind of got in touch with and started hearing, I think towards the end of last year. I had my show on Pulse 88 and Goku, actually, big up Goku.
Big up Goku, man.
He
Gang.
shouted out, he started playing Paul's track, Sony Right, and from there I was like, yo, this is a sick sound,
Yeah.
too wavy, and I need to kind of like look into this guy and see what's happening from there. So so I got in contact with you on socials and we kind of just followed each other from there. And
Yeah.
Paul has been releasing banger after banger, and this year I think there's something very special coming up, but
Definitely.
we'll get into that eventually.
Definitely.
So you yourself, how would you describe your genre, your kind of like your approach to music?
My approach, I would like to, I wouldn't like to put a name on it, but I think the closest thing I would say to my approach would probably be vulnerable. I like to be vulnerable with music.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Obviously the base is hip hop, you know, I'm forever a hip hop guy. Grime, of course, I've been a grime kid, but you know what I mean? Like my dad was a DJ and he was like smacking out hip hop tracks since the day I was born. So hip hop's always been my base in terms of my genre of music and my influence of music. So obviously, I would like to, you know, think that I make some good hip hop sounds, but yeah, vulnerable would probably be the only word I like to call my sort of approach to music.
Okay, that's a very interesting word for you to use for sure, man, because that wasn't what I kind of expected, to be honest.
Nah, man.
You mentioned your dad was a DJ,
Yeah.
so this is something I was going to come on to. What was kind of like your musical influences or your musical kind of from your parents and your family growing up? So I'm guessing your dad was a DJ.
Yeah.
Hip hop DJ?
He wasn't a hip hop. He was a hip hop. He was one of those DJs where, like, you know, he'll get booked to, like, because I come from like a West African home, innit?
Okay.
Ivory Coast to be exact, and
Côte d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Good attempt
Yeah.
though, but
That's a good attempt.
good attempt though.
Almost.
Trust me, I have my reasons.
Almost. Yeah.
Man. So like, you know, I come from I've got a West African background, so I had a lot of, at the time growing up, you know, my dad had a lot of friends from the similar backgrounds, and they used to sort of like hire him to do local weddings, parties, and stuff like that. Few little clubs and that back then. So he used to play a lot of types of sounds, you know, especially like from hip hop and of course like West African music at the time. Like
Sick.
if you know Magic System, Papa Wemba, all them type of guys there.
Wavy.
But in terms of hip hop, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. From Naughty by Nature, Tupac, you know, like that whole 90s golden era, you know what I'm saying? It's been the sort of champion sound he was sort of catering to.
Okay. So,
You know?
so you said you're from a West African family. So
Yeah.
have you got any siblings? What was family like growing up for you?
Yeah, it was alright. I mean, you know.
Have you got siblings? Are you the oldest?
Yeah, I'm the
middle?
oldest. I'm the oldest.
Same as me.
Yeah, gang. It's not easy, but
It's not easy. You know what I say? The oldest child is always the test baby, bro.
Yeah.
We are the ones that has to test everything out for the rest of the siblings in order for them to perfect it.
Big facts.
Bruv, we are the test dummy babies,
so
bruv.
them
Because our
youngest-
parents don't know what they're doing fam, at this
Trust me.
stage, fam. They're like, what have we
Trust
just
me.
done?
Trust me. But,
It's mad, but as in, I appreciate being, you know, I'm sure you're the same,
Yeah,
like
of course.
being the oldest and kind of like setting that influence. And even though they don't say it, I'm sure our siblings have some sort of kind of like respect towards what we do and the hustle we're on.
Yeah.
And again, like we're both creative as well, so I think it's kind of like a creative, like
Yeah.
I don't know, it happens to basically the oldest child, man. We kind of like fall into the creative
Definitely.
sector. It's either that or doctor, innit? It's one or the
Yeah.
other. It's both extremes. It's never the middle, bruv. You're either like super educated or like
Oh yeah.
creative.
Just straight left,
yeah.
innit?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, sick. So, like you mentioned, you said you grew up in Thamesmead. What was school life like for you? And what was like the musical influence from that side of things as well? Was it instant, or was it something you grew into?
Like I said, obviously, I always came from a musical like background. You know what I'm saying? Music was always playing in my household since I was a baby. But in terms of me, like growing up in Thamesmead and its impact on me in terms of music was, my school was actually alright. It was fun. I would like to call it the fun. It was fun for me because obviously at the time there was a lot of it was in a rich grime Channel U era. Do you know what I mean? Oh, can you hear me now? Yeah, perfect.
Move it towards you if you want.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, like I said, in terms of growing up in Thamesmead, it was a time where when obviously, if you know Channel U,
yeah, for sure,
rich. You know what I'm saying? It was a heavy influence on urban youth. You know what I'm saying? You know, youth from the urban communities. Like grime was really becoming a Black British language.
100%.
So it was something I was just amazed. You know what I'm saying? And it just spread it throughout everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So obviously Thamesmead, especially the Greenwich, because it's not part of the Greenwich borough, but it's next to the Greenwich borough. I would like to say it's the Greenwich borough anyway. So Greenwich, shout out the Greenwich movement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Woolwich, you know what I'm saying? Plumstead.
So like you said, that whole Channel U vibe, especially with the onset of grime and it becoming like they take it seriously at this time.
Yeah.
Again, was that something that was like replicated in school for you? So you'd watch that in your spare time, and then would you and your friends come to school and like use that influence you've seen at home with each other? Do you like to spit bars? Do you used to write bars like during high school in your break time? How did it kind of work with your school life?
Oh, big fact. In terms of my school life, well, we had everyone had their own little mini rap crews.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Grime crews to be exact. So, you know, like Thamesmead, being from Thamesmead, there was a specific grime crew. For those who know, you know me, TBM,
Jeez.
You know, and like Woolwich, they had their own, Charlton had their own. So there was grime crews. So it's like, as much as Channel U was an influential like channel for us, but I sort of gravitated a lot more to the local sort of crews. So I've seen the older lot in my school. Do you know what I mean? The older MCs, we used to see them spitting in the playground and the canteens and stuff. So my sort of like peers was just like watching and just getting gassed, and you know what I mean?
It's always much more effective when you see it in real life.
Yeah, real life, exactly.
So you can get some sort of influence by seeing it on a screen, but when you see people do it in real life, you're like, I can be like that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the same school as you, a couple of years older, you're like, damn, like I need to get to that level.
Trust me.
Go back home, right?
Idolize these guys. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
sick, man.
Exactly.
That's sick. So that was throughout high school.
Yeah, like high school.
Did you do like college and uni and stuff? Or?
Yeah, I done college. You know what I mean? I done college. Went to uni, Greenwich. Like 2 years.
Wasn't for you.
Wasn't for me, man. Like, do you know what? It's not like I don't want to come across a musician who fucking hates. You know, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Like who hates the whole education. Like, no, I do believe in education. You know, if I'm not ignorant. We all need to educate ourselves. We want to learn. Go for it. Do you know what I mean? I just felt like me going uni was sort of how can I put
step back?
Yeah, like step back. And I just felt like I was catering to, you know, the usual, the outside community, you know, the whole, this is the way to live, but it didn't resonate with anything I wanted to do, and that's from the heart, you know what I'm saying?
And I completely respect you for that decision, and I think too many people fall into that trap where they think uni is the only option. And I have the same mentality as you. I'm like, if you don't need to go to uni to do what you don't go.
Yeah, don't, man. Serious
I was speaking to, who was I speaking to? Someone, I think, my new job, innit? I was speaking to someone there, and she's like, I don't really want to go to uni, and she felt kind of nervous speaking to me about it, and I was like, fam, I dropped out. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be nervous around me, and don't feel bad for not going to university. It doesn't mean you're clever or dumber than anyone in this building.
No, exactly.
If you've got your own path and your own journey, stick to that, man, and you should believe in what you need to do. But again, like these school systems, I don't agree with them.
No,
bro, I feel like they focus too much on an exam, and not everyone is good at an exam.
Facts.
If they'd ask you to do spitting for your test, you probably got 100%. Facts. If they asked me to do like public speaking or a speech, I would have got 100%. Facts, But sitting there writing is not my forte, and I'm sure it might be your forte now because you write, but at the time, they don't hone in on the skills you have. And say, for example, you go to a teacher, you say, I want to be a rapper. They probably won't laugh in your face, but probably go to the teacher friends and say, look at this guy, fam.
I mean, for me, it's always like, I grew up to realize that, you know what, in life, You know, this life that we live is always about the service. We're all here to serve. You know, regardless of how many exams you pass or grades you got, whatever, like, eventually you need to provide a service, you know what I'm saying, which obviously results in a paycheck and a career. Do you know what I mean? And whether people do something legal or illegal, you're providing a service to get money. And I guess that's what it is, product consumer, in my eyes, innit? And 100%. I feel like all the other shit just extracurricular, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I completely agree with you.
And the way you break it down for simple terms, that's exactly what it is.
Trust me, bro.
No matter how good you are, you're doing something for someone. And in return, you get money. You know that's just the way the world works.
That's the way the world works, man.
And you have to wake up to see it like that, because that is just literally, in simple terms, how the world works.
That's it, bro. Literally. Nothing more, you know what I'm saying?
So, some of your lyrics, you mentioned it as well. You worked in retail at some point.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I've worked in retail as well. I was in retail for 5 years, my guy, bro. It was a journey. You know, every day, what am I doing here?
It's not easy.
You question your motives. You question if you make the right decisions, bruv. And one of your tunes, you mentioned that you selling shoes.
Yeah.
I used to work in size and then in Vans.
Okay.
So I was selling crap for time, bro. So was that straight after uni you got into retail?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you
got to pay bills, innit?
Yeah, you got to pay bills. And
you got to pay studio time.
Exactly. And whatever it is, the product, like I was saying, in life, everyone is given the luxury to create a specific product. You know, it could take them half their lives, however long it can take them to make this product, to shape this product, to give out to the world. And obviously I need the you know, as much as I like to think I'm a talented rapper, talented musician or whatever, it's going to cost me to get it out, to show it, you know what I'm saying, from studio, of course, and you know,
everything else,
yeah,
basically.
Exactly. So,
not only money, it's time as well, bro, which is the most important thing that we have. And I think until people understand that time is your most valuable commodity, it's very difficult to go forward in life, man, because unless you put that hours in, you know, it's basically what you put in is what you get out.
Facts.
And I
feel like I'm learning, man. I just feel like, this is some real education shit.
So we've spoken a little bit about kind of like Channel U and your dad being a DJ, being your influences, but are there any artists in particular from the UK scene or maybe from outside growing up that you really kind of idolized and you thought, you know what, I want to be like them?
You know what, man, like, I'm a guy that feeds off energy a lot, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to like looking at artists, especially from like the older generation, you know, it's only going to help, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, like I said, obviously Channel U and seeing all these other grime crews and seeing like raw. I felt like I belonged somewhere, do you know what I'm saying? You know, and in terms of UK, you know, it's always been the grime movement, you know what I'm saying? So many names to mention, in which I like to say, like the Boy Better Know movement is a movement I've always idolized growing up, you know what I'm saying? Crazy Titch, Dizzy Rascal, Kano, I say Kano, Skepta. Yeah, a lot of guys that I've looked up to growing up, UK, to just, you know, who's really had that sort of influence in me. But overall, I'll say Tupac, man. For those who know me, Tupac. Thug life. Had to say it. But yeah, you like in terms of inspiration, when I look at someone, when I hear someone's music, no matter what mood I'm in, no matter what I'm going through, Tupac is one person I always turn to in terms of inspiration, in terms of looking at him as a blueprint to follow in life, to be honest. It's that real.
His music is timeless, isn't it?
Timeless, you know what I'm saying? His mind, what he was on, what he represented, everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Despite his controversies and, you know, like shit with the law, all that stuff, all that negative shit, like put that aside. What that guy stood for, I can't see anyone, do you know what I'm saying? For me anyway.
Sure.
So yeah, Tupac, I'd like to.
Sick. Wavy. So in terms of we've touched it again a little bit before, but your style and genre, personally, I don't want to be wrong, but I would say like grime with a bit of garage as well.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
Again, the first track I heard, we can talk about music. The first track I heard was Only Right.
Yeah, Only Right, yeah.
Wavy track. How did that kind of come into fruition, that track? Because it is quite an aggressive tune.
Yeah,
and again, you mentioned Skepta. People kind of, when I showed Sian that tune as well, without saying anything, he instantly made that kind of connection.
Yeah.
How did that tune kind of come into fruition? Because it kind of sets the precedent for the rest of your stuff, because again, we're going to go into it, but I'm a fan of man like Paul STEPHAN.
Love, bro,
Can't wait for it to blow.
Hey.
Again, I'm gonna put all the music links and stuff below. But this guy, like,
love, man.
I don't want to gas him too much because he's already got a big enough head. But
don't. Appreciate it though, man. But
as in, so like that kind of connection. How does that make you feel when people say stuff like that?
I mean, like I said, like, in terms of my sort of approach to music, it's vulnerable. Like, we all have moods. We can get angry. We can be sad. You know, can be overwhelmed. We can be so many emotions go through us in it on a day-to-day basis. So in terms of music, it's always a medium for us to really channel these emotions in. So obviously, when I like in terms of Only Right, you know what I mean? It was like I don't know. For me, I wouldn't say it's the most grimiest tracks I've made, but I felt like it was such a. When I heard the production, it was like, oh, yo, this is knocking. And then I felt like, you know, the evolution of music right now, because it's forever growing, man. 100%. You know what I mean? Production-wise, it's just like, rah, this sound is, I ain't heard this before. Like, you know what I'm saying? And when you listen to certain artists and, you know, you're Travis and certain man, just like, rah, like, that sound is mad. So it's sort of like, it was a sort of track that I thought like, you know what, I ain't done something like this before. And I was feeling the type of way at the time. So I just thought, you know what, let me, do you know what I'm saying, experiment and see what comes out of it. And, you know what I mean?
Like you mentioned, you said you heard the track first. So is that always the process for you when you're making a track? You hear the beat and then you write to it? Or is it kind of you write some bars and you look for the correct beat that you think is suitable for that? How does it work for you?
Yeah, I think as an artist, man, production is such a vital element to have, you know what I mean? Because I don't know if you're an album guy or just a single guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like production plays a heavy part in that, you know what I'm saying? When you hear an album, you know what I'm saying, or an EP, whatever, a body of work, production plays a massive part. So
100%.
for me, it's always been the production, do you know what I'm saying? I always, not to gas myself up, I know that I'm blessed to flow on everything, you know what I'm saying?
And you're not gassing yourself because I completely agree.
Love, bro, I love, but you know what I'm saying?
Quick interjection, but go for it.
But in terms of production, yeah, I'm more of a guy that when I listen to beats and if I'm in a mood to make something, I have an idea. So, you know, I know what I'm looking for. If I'm working closely with a producer that I'm working with, then I'll suggest a few ideas and, do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hear the beat and I'm like, okay. When I hear production that I'm really messing with, and it's like, okay, what is it telling me to say? So I take it from then I just go off.
Okay.
Off the strength of that, you know what I mean?
Very random question, but do you like Doritos?
Yeah, man, definitely. Those who know me, yes, Doritos. I didn't see that coming, but yeah, of course, man.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah,
Are you a snack man?
A what?
Do you snack? Do you like snacks?
Do you know what? I do. I like snacks.
Is it like a thing where you go into a studio and you just got bare snacks?
Yeah. It almost feels like I feel naked when I don't have snacks, especially when I do like a long session. Like, it's like I'm itching to have a little. Do you know what I mean? But I am trying to work on that. You know what I mean? I told my girl that
work
I'm on
on
this
what though,
healthy,
bro? Work
like,
on what?
In terms of healthy snacks, I feel
I see
like
what you mean. It's gonna be more hummus and cucumber from now
bro,
on.
that's mad. I've been banging hummus. Yo, there you go. The frequency's different right now. Hummus has been my best friend.
Hummus is elite, bro.
Was it Sara Lee or I don't know, that little Sara Lee? I don't know how you pronounce it.
Sara Lee.
No, it's like a long celery.
Celery,
Yeah, celery.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree on celery, man. Me and celery, we have a love-hate relationship, bro.
I know what you mean. It depends on the hummus stack, but the caramelized onions, that, alright, bro. You can't go wrong.
No, but I heard celery is like one of the few foods that you eat and you lose calories because it's so hard to digest.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, oh, shit. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know that. It tastes healthy as fuck, though. Like, you're just thinking that, yeah, I'm doing... You know what I mean? But yeah,
that's wavy.
Banging that out.
So I've got a couple of lyrics written down that kind of like resonated with me.
Okay.
So there's one specific I'm going to read to you now quickly. It's called Visualize My Destination, then alter it like Doctor Strange.
Whoa. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So first thing I'm going to say is, do you like Marvel?
Bruv, do you know what? I love Marvel, but I love DC more.
Swear.
For those who know me, I'm an animation guy.
Okay.
As much as I know Marvel's popping with
so
the movies.
you like the animated like comic books and stuff?
Yeah, that's when pools connect, innit? Like, get me? You man do that Avengers.
When you refer yourself in the third person, that's when you know you're connected.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so for people who may be interested in that kind of stuff, what are you watching at the moment, or what you into? What's your favorite?
In terms of the latest piece of like DC, you know, I mean, I keep up. I've watched every DC animated movie you can ever. Like the last one was Batman Hush, mate. Like. Yeah, man, I watched with my girl and I was like, yo, this is just why I'm just so fascinated, because time and time again they're producing. And it's sad because I really feel like the DC, you know, franchise, they're really producing sick storylines for the, like, sick concepts for the animated, but it's sort of not nailing it with the movie. It's sad, isn't it? Like, and you just see Marvel, they're just
Killing it, bro.
I don't know, because obviously Iron Man's dead now, so I don't know how they're gonna pull this one off. So,
but it's
peak,
peak, man. You know, the thing is, like, DC should be able to produce much better movies, bruv. I don't get it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. The only movie I ever slept in was flipping Green Lantern, bruv. With Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly.
That was atrocious, man. And I had such high hopes going into that.
Yeah,
and then he's jumped onto the Marvel thing as well now. Ryan Reynolds, bruv, with Deadpool, and he's killing it with him.
He's killing it. You see what I'm saying?
It's peak.
It's mad. I feel like DC are really, they I don't know who's behind what, but I feel like they need to really sort of reconnect with that whole, you know what I mean? To be honest, I mean, for me, Christian Bale with Batman Dark Knight, for me, is probably the best.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're right. Because obviously, I think the Marvel movies that are aimed at a slightly younger audience.
Yeah.
When you go to actual, like, hardcore, like, adult kind of movies, you can't get better than that Batman.
Trust me.
Christopher Nolan, I bought the trilogy on Blu-ray. I didn't even watch Blu-ray no more, fam.
Yeah.
But as in, I have that there.
Blu-ray's a myth, man.
Bruv, it's
Christopher Nolan
trilogy.
is a bad man. With what he's done with that trilogy, like, I just feel like they haven't topped it. Like, anything.
I don't think it has.
Superman,
You're right.
Justice League. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like...
Why can't they make more movies like that? I don't get it. They should make everything like that.
No, man. This is when the whole idea of Christopher Nolan coming back and trying to...
They might not be able to afford the guy.
Yeah, you know, like that. But yeah, that's just something that's been going on for years now. But I'm a Marvel fan though. You know what I mean? You know, shout out Black Panther.
Jeez, come on,
you know
Wakanda forever.
You know what I mean? I'm a fan of Incredible Hulk. Big fan of him. Bad man. But yeah, like I'm a fan of Marvel, but I'm a DC.
Okay,
lover.
DC head.
DC's
I hear that.
Top for me, innit? You know what I mean? This guy, you're throwing at me, you know. For those who don't know, that's my cheeky ad lib, you know what I mean? My little signature move.
But when I hear that, man, I go mad, bro. People on the train are like, what the flip's wrong with this guy, bro? I'm there like, and obviously you got headphones in there and you're singing along and words are coming out, sounds are coming out. And obviously I can't appreciate that people next to me are listening to me, bro, rap along very badly.
Thinking you're crazy.
So, bro, trust me. But I don't care, man. You know when you're in that zone, bro, you just don't care, fam. I don't care that these people are looking at me, these suits are watching me in the train, fam. I'm enjoying myself right now.
Come on.
Again, I'm guessing you seem like quite a fun guy, so that's probably something that just came out randomly. You're like, yo, let's stick with that. Am I correct in thinking that?
No, you definitely are. I mean, studio is where I feel free. Like, I feel like I just want to experiment. Like, I go in the studio, I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm going to come out with. I might make a shit song. I might make a banger. I don't know, but I'm going to try. I'm going to experiment. I think that's the mentality I always stick by when it comes to, like, just creating. You know what I'm saying? Like, how I came up with that was just a series of doing a lot of ad-libs, because I was doing a lot and I was thinking, no, that sounds too... So I was just doing, and then I just came out and it's like... So we played it back, like, with my engineer, and shout out Unit 10, bad man engineer. And it's just, like, it was just mad, because I've first done it on Things on Things, actually.
Yeah, sick track.
And it was just like, it turned out to just sound like sick. I was like, yo, this is dope, man. You know?
And it's like, it's just... When you think about it too much, I think you kind of like put your creativity in a box.
Yeah.
When you're thinking too much about what other people will think. When you're comfortable, I always say this to people, when you're in your comfort zone, because you don't be. When you're comfortable, you tend to release yourself and let your true self come out.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing when you're in the studio, that is when you're in your zone.
Facts.
And you shouldn't. It's not about what other people think, man. Yeah. It's about what you want to do, people will begin to like that.
What I'm saying,
because then you're not faking anything, because you're being yourself, and that's what's long term.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're trying to be something else and you stop being something else, people are like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
As long as you are true to yourself, you know you're always doing the right thing, because you can't change anything, because it's you.
It's you.
You get me?
You know, they hate you, then they love you again, then they hate you.
Yeah, but it's just how fickle this industry is, bro, man. As long as you're doing something you love, and I know you are, because again, from the music you're releasing this year,
love, bro, man.
Bruv, I'm gassed. But we're gonna get into that a bit later on. There's one more, obviously, going from that kind of fun, comical kind of stuff. There was a bar I heard about you talking about your brother with sickle cell. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So obviously that's quite a debilitating condition. I've got something called Crohn's disease as well. So it's like something that affects your body, kind of shuts it down. And I have a friend actually who I saw yesterday who also has sickle cell, who still has struggle walking and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to figure out how that had an effect on you, as obviously as an older brother, on your family and stuff. And is that something you do talk about a lot in your music, or is it kind of like, because again you're talking about that vulnerability kind of thing.
There you go.
I'm guessing that's something that has affected you, obviously seeing someone you love
very cool,
struggling in all honesty with something that's affected their day-to-day life.
Yeah, man. And not to sound like arrogant or anything, I didn't know what sickle cell was. Didn't care for it at all. My little brother had it.
But it's always like that. You shouldn't feel bad about that, man. Because you're oblivious to this stuff until it affects you personally. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And until I started seeing the effects it had on him, you know, because he's a young athlete himself, you know, he's a young centre-half, you know, for Dartford Football Club.
Come on.
What I'm saying? He's doing his thing. He likes his football. He's doing football, and it's like, obviously he requires a healthy lifestyle. So it's just like, you know, seeing how it makes him feel, what it does to him, you know, to the point where it can affect him playing football. It just ultimately just puts me in a weird, obviously, position in it. Just like, like,
you feel a bit helpless, innit?
Yeah.
Because what can you do? That's the word.
You feel helpless.
Because what can you do?
You know what I'm saying? No matter the remedies, no matter the sort of, it's like shit. Like
there's only so many nice things you can do for him, because you don't actually know how it feels, innit? And it's very difficult to talk about something you've never actually experienced yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But he's a strong guy, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a strong guy
going.
mentally for his age. He's only 17, and
big up.
You know,
what's his name?
Emmanuel.
Big up Emmanuel.
Big up Emmanuel. Manny Sek.
Manny Sek.
Yeah, that's his little. You know what I mean? Bad man baller though, man. Like, you know what I mean? I love him. I like how he's so motivated. Like, whenever I talk to him, like, I can see he's in pain, but he's just like always having this optimism. Like, no, don't worry, this ain't gonna stop. I'm like, raw, like. And for me, it just makes me feel like
inspires you to keep going.
Yo, like I'm blessed, like, to have, you know, I don't have something like that.
Yeah, touch wood, innit?
You know what I mean? Touch wood, God, yeah, but it's just like, it's like, yo, just look at his mentality. Even with this condition, it's like, there's no excuse, man. I gotta
literally no excuse.
You know what I'm saying?
And I respect him as well, even though I don't know him. Like, when these things kind of hit you and you're doing well for yourself, like the footballing, you got two options, man. You either force through it or you crumble.
Big
especially
time,
at that age he's at. It's a very difficult age, man.
Yeah, trust
going
me.
into 20s.
Yeah.
Your body's changing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's a very, very difficult position for him to be in. Excuse me.
No, that's cool, bro.
But for him to kind of have the mental strength to say, you know what, I'm going to take this by the scruff of the neck and not allow it to affect me is very commendable, man. And I respect that a lot. So big up, man. It's all good, man. Gassy, man. Gassy. It's all them Doritos before you got here, bro. Man, ate a whole bag of Doritos.
Nah, man. Everyone had cold pizza in it. Domino's in the mission.
With hummus on it, fam.
Yo, bro. Mad. Is that catching up?
That's
like,
jokes,
as
man.
I'm sipping the water, trying to firm it, but fuck it.
What can you do, fam? What can you do? It adds the human element of this whole thing, and obviously that's what we want to do and show people.
Man.
Your side that obviously they don't see from listening to your music.
Yeah.
So one more song is Paul Ince.
Yeah.
Wavy track. Obviously, he was a very prominent like black footballer who kind of was one of the first ones, but also faced like a brunt of racism in football, in being one of very successful one. Obviously, people didn't like to see that. Yeah. Number one, do you like football? Do you watch football?
Bro, I'm a football fanatic, man. And I feel like, do you know what? It's mad saying that, because I really feel like, you know, there's certain like artists and, you know, public figures that really show that sort of passion. You know, like you got someone like Don Strapsy with the SE Dons.
Yes, very good.
You know what I mean?
Big things, yeah.
And see how his passion for football just, you know what I mean?
It incorporates music,
you know
and football they put together.
Strapsy, man, he's doing well with that, man. SE Dons, shout out Nad, Nathan. You know what I mean? It's such a passionate sport. You know what I mean? Obviously, born and raised in England, it's like, like
where the beautiful game was born.
Yeah, where the beautiful game was born. It's only right that you have to. You know, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm a football fanatic, Arsenal to the death.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You do not. I know we've had but I'm feeling like I'm very.
I know
optimistic.
you love Nicolas Pepe, bro.
Come on, I'm Ivorian.
He's a comrade, isn't it, bro?
Like, that's the name I'm getting when I get my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I support Pepe as much as I support Arsenal, man. That's my guy. I love seeing my Ivorians kill it.
Bruv, he looks sick.
Yeah, he's sick. He just needs to find his foot. Like, trust me.
Sick.
Once that first goal comes,
bruv, I'm telling you, it's a shutdown, bruv.
No, it's shutdown. I mean, if it wasn't like you got your Ronaldo, you got Messi, then it was him. No, there was Mbappe, then it's him. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it just shows how promising he is, like, and what we've been lacking over the years.
We've been lacking that width, and obviously all respect to Iwobi and Mkhitaryan and them, but they aren't levels like him.
Bun Mkhitaryan, he's dead, bruv.
I would have kept Iwobi in all honesty,
bruv.
But we got 35 mil for him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing his thing, but you know what I'm saying? It gets to a point where, like, I think the whole patience thing, like, I feel like, you know,
because he's not young anymore as well, man. As a footballer, he's what, 23,
But when
24.
you look at the likes of Harry Kane, you know what I mean? It's like to think that even Harry Kane played for Arsenal, you know?
Mad
when I hear things like that, I'm like, what?
Yeah, literally.
Like, we could have got Kante,
Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic.
You know what I'm saying? The list goes on. And what? Imagine, like, imagine if we had these players, bro.
Yeah,
it would have been a different story. But it's just like, it's the patience thing. And I don't know if that's a barrier that managers face these days, or I don't know if they're getting patient when it comes to, because Harry Kane is late developer. Do you know what I mean? Like,
very late, man. And he was lucky as well because they had a couple injuries and they just stuck him in the first team. I look at him now, bro.
Yeah,
He's probably one of the world's best strikers,
bro.
fam.
Like, no doubt. And but
even though I hate Spurs, like, when I see him on the ball, I'm shook, fam.
Yeah, for real. He's always squaring past us. But you know, to think that Arsenal let him go, like, you know, because he wasn't mobile enough.
Butters.
You know, I forgot the guy's name. Bunny, but obviously I got to give credit when he's doing it. Like, you get me? Harry Kane's a fucking world-class, exceptional striker.
Baller, bro.
You know, he wasn't like, from a young age, he was, you know what I mean? So he's all about, you know what I mean, just developing. But Iwobi's doing his thing, though, man.
Yeah, man.
He's always a gunner in my eyes, man.
Yeah. Respect that. Calm. So you're releasing tracks.
Yeah, of course.
Things are going well, and then suddenly man sees you on Colours Berlin.
Yeah. Come on.
And I think this is like as they were becoming a bit more established. You got your opportunity on there. You absolutely smashed it. I went through the comments the other day. The jokes. And a lot of people are rating your flow as well. So what I want to know is how did that opportunity come about? First of all,
mad. Do you know what's mad? Do you know what? Like, I didn't respond. They responded to me like, I don't know, I can't remember. Like, it was like
they shouted you out.
Yeah,
they asked you to come.
Yeah, for those, because I get quite a lot of questions. People, did you get Colours? Because Colours is such a big thing. I went on like, it was on 2017 actually. I went on there, and it was just like, till this day, people were like, what do you do? I want to go. I'm like, you know what? I didn't know about them. You know what I'm saying? I saw a session from a guy called Jay Prince. He's a good artist.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, Colours, okay, cool. I didn't take note of it, but it was just like, because they emailed me, shout out Florina, Felix, and you know, and I didn't respond like 2 months.
Gee.
And when I say this to people, they're like, they cuss me. I'm like, bruv, I didn't know. And I just thought. Then I looked at a colour session. I think it was a Daniel G one. I thought, wait, these are the same people that emailed me. Oh, okay. And then I just started locking in and, you know, checking out what they were doing. And I thought,
sorry, it must have gone into my junk.
I said, yo, yeah, something like that, innit? Like, must have went in my junk. And I was like, sorry, I just saw this email. And then I was thinking, they probably won't get it. Yeah. You know, it's been 2 months since, you know, so.
So you just kind of forgot about it?
I forgot about it until,
hit you up.
You know what I'm saying? And exactly, so, and then they replied like the next 24 hours. And
that's
like, yeah,
sick,
I was like, bro, okay, let's go. Let's do this, you know, and yeah, man. And for me, looking at Colours, it was just like, you know, it became, as I had done my research on it, I felt like, yo, this is a serious platform to really show what you're on.
100%.
And when I mean what you're on, like what you're on. No, like, this is a weird.
It's a one take. Yeah. So do you actually have to go to Berlin?
Yeah.
So they fly you out?
Yeah. Like I went Berlin with my sister. I went there. First time going Germany, actually. So it was just like another nice experience for me. And yeah, man. I just feel like, you know what?
They take care of you.
Yeah.
Is it all in a day though? Or is it,
it was all in a day. It was in a day, man.
So they fly you over. You do think you fly back same day?
Yeah. No, the next day. So I was there for like 2 days. Okay. But yeah, the setup was so basic, man. Like it's a lot of people feel like a lot of things.
It's just a what's it called?
Yeah. Like they had
is it a green screen?
Yeah, man.
Oh, so they changed the colours afterwards.
Yeah, of course, bro. It's green screen. So yeah, it's just like green screen, like 3 cameras. You know, Felix was on a laptop, and it was just like, you know, straightforward. You could just see it was just a bunch of guys who were just passionate about art.
And they're smashing.
They're smashing it now, and it's just I'm happy that you know, to be part of that, because obviously
it's always going to be again time. It goes back to timeless. People are going to look at Colours Berlin, and you're always going to be there, bro.
Yeah, don't, man. It was a nice.
And so talking about that track, you did. What was the name of the track? Sorry, bro.
Paul Steffi Kane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's your number one on the Spotify.
Yeah.
Of your most like recent things, and the flow on that is sick.
Love, bro,
it is
man.
sick. And had you actually released the track on Spotify before that?
Nah. This is mad.
That was an exclusive.
It was an exclusive, and obviously demand was just so, because, come on, man, you know, prior to that happening, I was making grime music. You know, I've always, like I said, hip hop has always been in my like sort of, you know what I'm saying, in my forte. But it's just like I was making grime at the time, and when I had the opportunity to do Colours, I thought, you know what, I'm not gonna do the typical what they expect me to do. I'm gonna jump on an old school, like I said, like, you know, Big Daddy Kane, for those who don't know, is where I got the influence from to do Paul Steffi Kane. And like I said, he was one artist that my dad used to spin back in the day. So I was always into that whole 80s, you know, late 80s rap, you know what I'm saying? So I thought like this is a perfect opportunity to show a different side to man. Do you know what I'm saying? So
sick.
Yeah, man. And it just went
so
off.
Obviously I read the comments and people are loving the flow. They're like, yo, this is sick, this flow is sick, da da da. But you know what else they're saying about, bro? You know what they're talking about? Your hand, bro. I think I read a comment about saying this is sick rapping. He's like rapping in sign language, bro.
Sign language, I knew it. Yeah. Just something annoying. That thing got bare likes, you know.
Of course, man. But as in, for me, it just shows that kind of like the connection you had to the music, and you're kind of like conducting yourself. You know, like a conductor does the orchestra.
Exactly, orchestra. Get me?
Yeah, bro. That's what I felt like, man.
Your guy, you know your music, man. That's what I'm saying. You know your music, man. Trust me. And for me, like, for those who know me, yeah, like whenever I'm writing lyrics or when I'm in the studio, I don't know. It's just a thing I do to know what I mean. It's like an expression. You know what I mean? I've never seen a rapper unless they really become like they're doing a gimmick. You know what I mean? Like with their hands just down. Do you know what I mean? Rapping. So it's just a thing I do. So wait, it helps.
Sick. Oh no, I thought I wrote the what's it called? The comment down somewhere. I wanted to read it to you. No, I can't find it. That's fine. Good. So another couple of things I stumbled upon. I think this was earlier on. JME, he tweeted one of your tracks.
Oh man, big up, man.
Was that out of the blue?
Definitely. It was.
Had you met him at the time, or?
Do you know what? No. Like, do you know what's mad? My boy Jamesy, yeah. I remember we was driving from East London and we was literally pumping JME's like album.
He's sick.
I think it was a Serious album actually. He was pumping a Serious album, and we were just talking to each other like, yo, like Jamie's always been in his own lane. Like he's never switched up. Like this guy's really, he's still out here with the same do-rag, you know, out here. You know, Grime legend was just like in a car. You know what I mean? Like just appreciating the guy, and like it was mad because the following week, you know, when I was working my retail job, I remember I was in a toilet and I had my phone in it.
10-minute toilet breaks.
You know them toilet? Yeah.
Toilet.
Trust me.
Scroll through that Twitter, bro.
This is when I released a joint called Spin My North on SBTV.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes. That was you had features on that as well.
No, that was just me.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, Spin My North. Yeah, that was just me. You know, that was sort of like a perfect tune where I was showing my approach to grime in it at the time. So I felt like, you know, it was one of those pieces of art that I'm really happy with because it showed a great representation of who I am and what I was about. So when I was in the toilet, you know what I mean, you know, I had my phone, you know, and my phone was just going blowing. I was like, what's going on? I'm just looking, I'm thinking, I'm just seeing JME, like, man, that Paul, like, raw. I was just like, raw. Like,
that must have been,
that
shit must have come out quick, blood.
You know what's mad? Because I went to his Grime MC, launch actually this year, innit? Yeah. This guy. But yeah, did I say I done it? No, I'm not going to say it now. Because I was doing a number 2, but it's mad. It's mad. But
he came out quickly, sucked it straight back up, bruv.
Let's leave it there. But what's mad, do you know what, man? You probably never know. I don't know, like, because I don't know if you recognise me, man. I took a pic with him, you know, at his Grime MC launch. But for me, that moment was just a big deal for me because it was just like, you know, I was so influenced by him. Like I said, I'm influenced by the Boy Better Know for what they've done with the grime movement. And, you know, to get a tweet from him, like, it was just a big deal for me.
Obviously, that probably continue to inspire you. Like, shit, these people are noticing me, man. I'm on the right track.
Yeah, you know, definitely.
That leads on again to you got a picture with Skepta as well.
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
But you love that whole family, fam.
Bro, do you know what's mad? You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Like, shout out Paddy, man. My manager, Dwayne Williams, you know what I'm saying? Good people, good energy. But yeah, that was at the Praise the Lord video shoot. And for those who don't know, Skepta's part was in the heart of Thamesmead. You know what I'm saying? Jeez. So it was almost like raw. Like, and it's mad because I was at work at that day, innit? Okay. And I just felt like, nah, man. Then I'm getting bare phone calls like Skepta's on end, Skepta and ASAP Rocky's on end. I was like, what? So he's like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Hey. So I was like, what do you mean? Then I got a call from Paddy, and you know, and like for Paddy, his tour manager, and I shout out Paddy, man, and he's like, yeah, man, Skepta's shooting a video in your neck of the woods. I was like, raw. So he's really on it. No, okay. So I was there begging my manager, yo, like, can I leave? I was like, oh, I'm sick. I was coming up with some next excuse. I can't remember. I was just like, yo, I need to leave. And, you know, he didn't. He was being a pagan. But somehow, like, you know what, as soon as I finished my shift, I just blew out. And I thought, fuck, so I'm not missing this. I got to see, I got to witness it. Luckily, they were shooting the last scene. Sick. Him and ASAP in it. And me and my boy Quincy just went there. And it was like, there was like bodyguards and there was people who had to stand from afar. And Paddy was just like, come. And then I want you to see. So I was like, walking and Skepta was just like, I remember we'd done some snap with him. And he was just showing love, you know what I mean? And it's just like I said, he's always been one of my role models in terms of this music thing. And it was just nice to know that he's in the ends. Because Thamesmead, you know what I mean? Like I said, like it's nothing. So when you hearing like Skepta and ASAP Rocky's and you're shooting in your hands, like it's like, right, it's a big deal. You know what I mean?
It's
so
a massive deal.
As much as I would love to be in a video, but you know, I just wanted to take a pic and you know, like just. You know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't?
It's like them old school football shows you had on CITV or like
CITV.
CBBC, where they had that the poster of like the footballer on the background, and whenever they looked at it, they got inspired.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's something you could do as well. You're like, shit, you know, I met this guy. Yeah. He's as human as I am.
It's even mad because I mean, I'm not gonna say yo, Skepta's my boy, like
yeah,
you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But I mean, obviously, the last festival I done with a band called Foulblin in Denmark, the Roskilde.
We're gonna talk about that as well, bro.
Exactly. So I even came across him then, and he sort of recognized me, and I was like, okay, do you know what I mean? So it's just like, and he actually came, he left his like his hut to watch my set, and that's what just said, you know what, this is like. So I was backstage with him before I was gonna go on the stage, and he just giving me advice, telling me to enjoy it. It was a real inspiration. Like Skepta's really played a real like inspirational role in terms of this music thing that I've been doing, you know what I mean? Because he's someone obviously I've been looking up to. I still look up to him, and just to you know hear some encouragement words from him, you know what I'm saying? It's just nice, you know what I'm saying? It's nice.
Especially like journey, he's been hustling for time before he blew up like internationally. He was like 30 years old, man.
We all know Skeppy, and if like I said, it's just you know it's so nice to see someone respect their own passion, like. They're not watching left, right. You know, he's just a true definition of respect your passion, respect who you are, and do what you want to do. Take control. You know what I'm saying? You know, do things in your own terms. You know, everything else is sort of like a bonus. That's one thing I've learned from Skeppy, innit? Like, he's not really, you know what I mean? He's on a mission, you know what I mean? Like, and I had the privilege to talk with him, have some conversations with him, and Shorty as well. Big up Shorty. You know what I'm saying? They've been encouraging me, like, you know what I mean? He's always just focused, and it's the sort of mentality that kept him throughout these years, you know what I'm saying? 100%. Like, that resilience he's had, do you know what I mean? These phases he's had, and he's just like, he's championed.
It's easy to give up, man, and he's ridden the storm, whatever the word is.
Yeah, trust me.
And it's come into fruition for him, man. It's come bearing the fruits now of his labour, innit?
Exactly.
So you're talking about Skepta recognising you. You have a very recognisable sense of style. Obviously today you've toned it down a bit today. I don't know why. It's not interview, fam.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Like, you know.
But it's calm. It's calm. So, like I said, from all your videos, if you haven't seen them, check them out. Again, I'll put the links below.
Love, bro.
Man like Paul has got a sick sense of style, man. I really like your sense of style. It's very unique, and I'm
cool yourself, bro. Look at them champion bottoms. When I pulled up, that was the first thing I clocked. I said, yo, those bottoms are hard. You know what I mean? Yeah, but trust me, like. Fashion's another way I'd like to always like express myself. Exactly.
Sure. I was gonna say. So, what would you say you kind of like fashion influences are?
Yeah.
And was that something that was kind of evident to you growing up? For example, in high school, was it something that developed as your musical style developed?
Yeah. I mean, I've always been like. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to just
eccentric dresser. You'd say.
Yeah, eccentric in it, and I used to just sit at home, watch a lot of hip hop videos, and just you know, like when the 50 Cent era. God, Lord knows.
Come on, the best.
I'll go to Sports World at the time and buy the sweatband and, you know, to have this whole do-rag, try to have that whole, you know what I'm saying? The whole swag.
Demeanor, yeah.
So the attitude was always there. Like I always wanted to express myself through fashion. But as time went by, I gradually, you know, found my steps. But in terms of my fashion, obviously for those who know, like I love my colours. I love my whole vibrant colours, energy. I mean, I really come from a dark grey area. So I feel like my colours represents me.
And obviously your heritage is very a colourful place as well,
exactly.
man. It's all about colours and
definitely
styles and stuff
African,
like that.
Man.
So
we love colours, man. I'm an African. We love colours, you know what I'm saying? So
sick,
man. It represents my energy, man.
Wavy. And that obviously led on to you had a collab with LS.
Yeah, cool. Shout out LS, man.
So did they shout you out? I mean, did they contact you, or how did it work?
I mean, so basically, Metropolis Studios, probably the best studios where all that the A-list celebrities record in it.
Yeah.
From your Rihanna's, the Sheerans,
Mad thing.
Kendrick, Eminem, Drake. They've all recorded at them studios, Metropolis Studios. A guy called Gavin, one of like the head engineer there. Shout out Gavin, man. He emailed me because they were doing a sort of like a collaboration with LS in terms of finding artists, working with artists to do a local live session, you know, stuff like that. So they were doing a little thing, and they had a little discussion about artists, and I think think his name was Matt. Forgive me, but you know who you are if you do see this. Matt, I think his name. He sort of brought me up and showed my music to the whole team, and they were like, yo, yeah, you know, green light. And yeah, it's just been ever since, yeah, because I linked up, I went to the Metropolis Studios, then I had the whole, you know, LS brand, met them there, really, really, like, good people, good energy. So it started with me just doing live sessions with them, doing a collaboration with them, and the relationship just built. Like, it was just, you know, it was just, yeah, man, it was just positive. Like, it was very bouncing off each other, like, you know what I'm saying?
And so from that, they were like, okay, we're going to sponsor you as well? Or
yeah,
like, okay,
it was just...
as part of this experience, we're going to release a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's like part of the experience. Because
I went to buy it, but it had no larges left, fam.
I love, bro, I love, yeah. You know, it was just, I don't know, they just sort of like came at me just like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they liking what I'm doing, and, you know, they're really happy with the sessions that we done together. So it just started from there, and then they just sort of, we had conversations about me doing a T-shirt line, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be down. So I think Gavin showed me a strain of designs, and we're just designing the T-shirt, and then we were just like, yeah, you know, let's do this. And it's just, to me, it was almost like it was so quick. Like, it was just like, it wasn't like, yeah, it wasn't like, yo, I've got a next movie, you man, watch, this is a year ago, sitting in the headquarters. It wasn't some sort of like it was so like,
just instant.
I didn't see it coming. Do you know what I mean? Literally. I did not see it coming. Like, I even forgot about it. Like, I forgot I designed it. And then I remember I was at home, got like a doorbell and that, and I just see a big box. I'm like, what's this?
Yeah.
I opened it. Just seen bare less shirts. I was thinking, shit, I forgot.
So they sent you the T-shirts and they sold them as well.
And they sold them,
so
yeah.
That was gifted to you.
That was gifted to me, and
nice.
You know, for me, to be honest, I didn't want to even like, yo, you know, although it was a line, you know what I'm saying, but I just felt like I was just so inspired, man. You know what I mean? Like, LS has been a brand I grew up on, and they always represented that whole vintage heritage, which obviously that's who I am. That's my sort of, you know what I'm saying, angle in fashion. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was such a inspirational moment for me to think that these people, like, of course they are £1 million brand, innit? Like, to just work with someone from Thamesmead who ain't got like millions and millions of views, or I ain't even verified and stuff like that, but they still they respect my art, and they wanted to appreciate it through doing a line with me. So it was a real defining moment for me in my career. You know what I'm saying? It was a good time for me.
Sick.
It was a wake up call, actually.
Surreal. It must have been pretty surreal.
Yeah, it was surreal.
Working with these people, and they're just a quick turnover, and they're like, okay, cool, that's done. That's done.
It's mad.
It must have been like it must have been a nice insight into that side of the industry as well.
Exactly, industry, and which obviously fashion, apart from the music, is another, like I say, a way I like to express myself. So it was sort of like a head start for me to really get ideas for the future in terms of how I'm gonna approach fashion. And
it collaborated two of your favorite things as well, music and fashion.
So it was like,
this is a nice life, bro.
Yeah,
I can get used to this.
Trust me, definitely. And it's sort of like giving me a platform to stand on to really, you know, create some more, and hopefully get on to doing more joint ventures later on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was a good moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out LS, man. You know,
wavy.
Bad man brand. I always said I'm gonna get an LS chain.
One day, bro.
Yeah.
Diamond encrusted.
So like, a couple plaques on that.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Yeah, man.
Next to the BAFTAs,
no, big up LS though.
Wavy. So style is a main thing, and obviously you're in a group SMF.
Yeah.
Stupid Man Fresh, yes. I actually saw you guys live.
Yeah.
This is where we met in person.
Big up, man.
So me and Paul met like actually in person. We'd be just messaging on Instagram. He didn't actually know me in real life. Yeah. So when I was like, my name's Moeed, he's like, who's that? And then I was like, what's good? Because that was my Instagram tag.
What's good? I saw that logo. I was like, yeah, what's good? Yeah.
So we met, and he was performing at the Broken Pen. Shout out.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna get him on this podcast for sure.
Yeah, have to. Talented guy.
Very talented man.
Broken Pen is a madness.
He's a madness.
Light skin champion. Yeah. Hey, Broken Pen.
But obviously you and SMF performed on that. Yeah. And again, it's a sick vibe.
Love, yeah.
And you guys had the crowd really going. So are those just your boys?
Yeah, my boys, man. Shout out Quincy, Tay, and Blessed. You know what I mean? Like, we're all from like the local, from the ends. You know what I'm saying? Like Tay, Blessed, Woolwich. You know, me and Q from Thamesmead. But yo, man, like, it's just been, to be honest, SMF is something that I looked at it as more of a brotherhood. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sick.
Like, when I started doing music in my early years, like the 2014, 2015, and Quincy, my guy Quincy, Badman, Bansu Q, do you know what I'm saying? He was obviously doing music and stuff, and you know, he had an idea of Stupid Mad Fresh, and when we decided to link up in the studio for one song, we just took it from there, you know what I'm saying? Because I always felt like, as much as music, you know, was something I knew that I wanted to do, but I always wanted to have that privilege of sharing it with brothers and who have the same sort of drive and passion to create together and to make something happen. So that was sort of a approach I had, you know, when I decided to just rock with it. And yeah, man, we haven't looked back ever since. You know, we had a first headline show. Shout out for coming, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, we're just slowly but surely just building and, you know, perfecting the craft. You know what I mean? Shout out my boy Tay Made. Obviously, he had a massive launch with Vans. You know what I'm saying? I saw
that actually. Yeah. I used to work for Vans, innit? I was at House of Vans, and I saw you guys perform there.
Yeah,
when was that?
That was he had because it was for
Is he a skater?
I wouldn't say he's a skater, but he's a Vans fanatic. Like brother. Like it's mad because prior to that show, you know, we was at a bus stop one time. We had a photo shoot actually, and we were just talking about brands we wanted to work with, and he always was screaming Vans.
That's what I said. Like I used to work there, and then I went to the area manager once. I was like, "Watch one day, I'm gonna get sponsored by you, man," because they're paying us shit money. I was like, "Fam, watch." I said, "One day, watch. You guys are gonna sponsor me." He started laughing at me.
You see?
I was like, "Fam, fat boy, I'm coming, bro."
Don't worry. Trust me. I can. Bro.
I'm telling you, man. I looked at him. I was like, in my head, I was like, "Fam, you man are gonna sponsor me, bro."
When I had that LS shirt, bro, trust me, man. I was just hoping they only sell it at my shop. Yeah, I would have been the biggest. Because like,
where were you working?
Bro, for those I was working in JD. And to be honest, I'm not
Size and JD the same thing.
They're the same company.
Slave labor, fam. Modern day slavery. That's what the JD company do, fam. They take the piss, bro.
I've met some great people, you know.
That is the only thing that keeps you going, innit?
Great managers.
Because you suffer together.
Yeah, you suffer exactly. I met a few great people, like during my time at, you know, JD. But obviously, yeah, like you said, it's just it's something else, man. Once you really get into that whole world, it's just like no.
Again, it's so cool because we knew it was part of the process.
Yeah,
it's a means to get to where we need to be.
Exactly.
But bruv, retail is a mad thing.
It's not easy. But you know, it has its pros and cons, man. I mean, I think to be on the bright side of it, I feel like, you know, one thing I say retail has really helped me with is like my people skills. For those who don't know, like, you know what I mean, like, I don't know, innit? But for some reason, I had this whole fear of approaching old people because whenever I used to walk on the street, like, I know I'm some big black guy. Yeah. It was just like old people always, I felt like they always sort of like so immediately to feel like intimidated. Yeah. So it was like, I remember when I started working, like I was settling and, you know, serving young customers, young couples, young and old, and I start feeling, I feel a bit weird to approach this. But it was just like, you know, as I just, you know, I'm doing my job, let me just, and I've, you know, and I've realized, you know, like the confidence just to approach all types of people, all types of races, all types of backgrounds. You know, even people don't speak English. It sort of enhanced my people. So like to shed some positive light on that whole retail, is definitely like enhance my people skills, and you know what I'm saying.
But one thing I do say is everyone should experience 6 months of retail in their life, because then you don't get those dickhead customers, bruv, who just feel so entitled. I think everyone in their life at some point, just like you have to go to like what's it called, army service or whatever, man, military service. Bruv, everyone should work 6 months in retail, and then everyone it'll be a better world, fam.
A better world, yeah. A lot of
because then you know what you do. You act up, but everyone, like, if you act up to a retail worker, they're just not gonna rate you. They're gonna take extra long in the stockroom.
Trust me.
They're just gonna take their time, bruv. So I don't.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just long,
It's just a vicious cycle, man. You know what I mean? That whole customer know it all. Like I'm always right, customer sort of thing. I hate that, innit? I'll just smack the taste out of you. Right,
literally,
but I think, to be honest with you, not to even gas myself up, I reckon, like, throughout my experience with retail, I felt like I used to just...
rubbing up that microphone, man. No, just move back a bit.
Yeah, like, you know, there were times where, like, customers knew they were being a prick, and I used to have this look on my face, like, don't bring that near me. So I feel like,
because you're quite physically intimidating, though, aren't you?
Like, you get me? So they'll just grease up someone else and
that.
Like, do you know what I mean?
They go to the smaller Asian guy, innit?
And when I get involved in that, this guy is smaller Asian guy.
Me, basically. They come to me for it, bro. I'm like, fam.
Do you know what I mean? Because I always said, you know, nah, man. Because I've seen something, like, my colleagues get violated. Like, one colleague I know, supervisor, like, someone spat her. I'm like,
that's disgraceful.
Imagine,
Man. That's
you know what I
disgraceful,
mean?
Man.
She's only following the procedure that she's been told to, and like, come on, you gotta have some sort of understanding, like, something she can do. You know what I mean?
Low life
for you to get,
that,
like,
man.
trust me. And when I'm seeing shit like that, I'm thinking, no, I don't.
That's
care.
the thing. I will rap you.
You know what I'm saying? So I always had this ready. You know what I mean? I'm from the end. You get me?
Man, I was looking at Arthur. You know that Arthur meme, bro, with his fist by his side.
Go, like, I'm ready, like, because I know how you people get down. So I've always had that sort of shield, and I never luckily, I never experienced some sort of you know,
anything like that.
Yeah, disrespect like
I hear
that.
I hear that.
I
think it's just about confidence, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if they see, it's like in the wild, isn't it? A lion will attack the weak deer.
Trust me.
So if they're looking at you, it's like, bruv, we're animals, fam. It's the same thing, fam. If they're seeing someone exude a little bit of weakness, they're gonna jump on that.
Trust me,
fam.
customers are evil, you know.
They're evil people, fam.
Anyway, leave it as that, man.
Going back to SMF, sorry.
Yeah.
What is the future or the rest of the year going into 2020 looking like for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, we've just been locking in the studio recently. Like, we feel like we just want to put a lot of content out to the end of the year. We've got a lot of content. We've got a lot of music coming out. We just want to just put them out. We just feel like we're at that place where we just want to go back to the basics and focus on the music and nothing but the music. You know, we had a first headline show, which was a success.
Pizza.
Like, thanks for coming as well, bro. Like, it was a real defining moment for the crew.
You'd performed before that, though. You'd performed before that.
Yeah,
together. Yeah. I was gonna say.
We used to go to like other events and you know and do our thing there. But yeah, man, it was sort of like a defining moment. Like, yo, this is our sort of stamp in music, and this is what we have to offer. Sick. So stay locked.
Because you can see the connection you guys have on stage as well, man. It's evident that you guys are actually friends.
Yeah.
Not just about the music.
Exactly.
And I think it's very like most occupations. It's very difficult to like bond and really get like the best out of you if you don't actually like each other.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the real benefit of, you know, like I say, I view SMF as a brotherhood, man. Like, these are guys I can just, you know what I'm saying, cool and just talk to on a level. Like, if I'm going through something in life, these are guys I can turn to. Do you know what I'm saying? It's despite, you know, just spitting bars and just, you know, sharing ideas, but you know what I'm saying, they're like real life friends. So
they seem like I followed a couple of them recently on Insta, and they follow me back. And
man.
Bro, they feel like really cool guys, man.
Yeah,
so
they're good people, brother, man. Yeah, you get
they
to
look
meet
really
them
cool, man.
Trust me.
Yeah, bro. Soon we'll do we'll have all 4 of you on, man.
Yeah, man. Good brothers, man.
Good
energy.
Thing, man.
You know what I'm saying? We're all just guys who just want to, just, you know, just share our passion through art. So yeah, man. Looking forward to
hear
still.
that. So obviously that's a really good thing. So now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Say, for example, someone's watching or listening to this and they're in a place where they're unsure, they're uncertain about whether or not they're going to go to uni or do music full time, or they're going through something, their family's not agreeing with their musical choice, or they're going through something that's like testing them mentally and emotionally, and they're in a kind of a dark place. From your experiences, what kind of advice could you give to someone in that to kind of like make sure they stick to what they want, or what they do what's best for them, basically?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm another person who's also faced that sort of, you know, peer pressure in it, and honestly, it's just about, you know, just you know, like to the point where you won't have sleep at night if you know if you made the wrong decision. Like, you know what it is. You know what I mean? We're all been blessed to have a passion, have a gift. I believe everyone's got a gift. Despite what it is, it's not necessarily always rapping, acting, the whole bait ones, but a gift is a gift.
100%.
We're all here to serve, like we said earlier. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, we just have to find it within us to find out what it is I'm supposed to be doing. I thought that's one of the vital traits for any human to have. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think once you have that in your mind, have that sort of trait, I think dealing with the university thing, and, you know, because we've seen the greats, whether it's musicians or, like, you know, your Mark Zuckerberg and the Bill Gates, they broke the rules. They didn't go uni, and, like, you know, Alan Sugars, these are dons that, you know, never really.
They just had the drive and a passion.
Do you know what I mean? They had the drive and a passion. They knew,
and they put in the time.
Their product. They said, you know what? Sorry if this don't please you now, but this is what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm saying? And, you know, for instance, you know, Bill Gates, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he knew, he saw, and conquered it. And once you have that sort of mind frame, I think it just helps you just.
The main thing as well, though, he was good at what he did too.
Good.
So he'd put in the hours. So that's one thing. You can't expect to kind of like do what you want to do, but then not actually be good at what you do.
Of course.
You have to perfect your craft. It's like what Will Smith says, man. You can be talented, but if you ain't got the hard work, then that talent is just gonna be wasted.
Big up. I love Will Smith.
Will Smith is a G, bro.
He's such a guy. You know, whenever you come across a video of his or Instagram,
I wish you were my dad.
Jaden is one lucky motherfucker, man. Shout out Jaden though.
Nah, but he's doing bits as well, man.
Course,
he's changing the world, man.
He has to.
He's got something to live up to, innit,
Get dad like Will Smith. What do you mean? Like, come on, man. Like,
but he's doing a lot for the planet as well, man.
He's very planet cautious.
I got big respect for him. People used to take the piss out of him for wearing a skirt, bro. But
he's just what I'm saying. He's mad. But when you know what I mean, like,
so what, man? If he's doing that, fam, do you know what I'm saying? Let him do what he wants.
His mind is just different, and you have to respect it. Eventually, like we were saying, they'll cuss you for it and that until
they join you.
Till they join you, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all about just having that mindset and just.
And I suppose having someone like Will Smith to advise you as well.
Can't go wrong, man.
Big up to him, man. I think. Have you got anyone in your life going on to that you kind of like turn to in times where you kind of like at a crossroads or questioning yourself? Is it the SMF people, your boys from SMF?
It's just like honestly, I'm blessed to have a few people in my life. Like obviously my family, my mother to be exact. You know what I'm saying? She's really my whole family, my sister, brother. You know what I'm saying? My girl. Like my boys, just you know what I'm saying. Like I'm just been blessed to have certain people that I can really turn to and just have that sort of, you know, like foundation to fall back on. Like yo, you know what I'm saying? Because as much as we would like to think that we're self-sufficient, we're not in it. We always need something. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's an advice, a helping hand, you know what I'm saying? Discipline. Need someone to tell us don't do this because this is gonna happen. Do that, innit? We need some of that. Do you know what I'm saying? So
because sometimes, we think quite quite narrow.
Narrow, exactly.
So we need sometimes people to wake us up a little bit.
Facts, man. Trust me, we need that. You know.
And it's not a bad thing.
You know what I mean?
Like you need that because you're just gonna run yourself into a wall if you keep just doing what you're doing, innit?
Exactly. So yeah, like I said, I've been blessed to have these sort of people in my life, and you know what I mean. These are certain things I don't want to take for granted. So yeah, man. You know.
Wavy.
Yeah.
So obviously making all these decisions with friends and all the music you've been released has kind of led to some big performances for you. So I think it was this year where you done your 2 major festival performances, am I correct?
Man, it was a defining moment for me.
So you performed in what, Croatia? No, Czech Republic, sorry.
Yeah, Czech Republic at the Majalis Festival.
Majalis Festival. I saw footage of that. It looked epic, fam.
Yeah, bro. Crazy.
So why don't you tell us about that kind of journey?
Like, do you know what? And this is what I'm trying to say. You know, being as a musician, like, it's kind of tricky sometimes because, you know, when you decide to yourself, you know what, I want to do music, I want to be an artist, you know, you think to yourself, okay, yeah, I need to go viral. And of course, all these things help, you know what I mean? But I think this year it was sort of like I said, a wake-up call for me because, you know, it's just like, I said to myself, you know what, like, it gets to a point being an artist. I've done this for a few years now, Marina, and I said, you know what, I'm not here for the views or anything like that. I'm going to go back to the basics, do what I love, and be great at it. Everything else will come, you know what I'm saying? No matter how long it's going to take me, as long as the dedication's there,
100%
the ethic's there, whatever what's meant for me, will be for me. And
all you can do is put in everything.
Exactly.
That's all you can do because then you have no regrets.
Exactly.
And then whatever comes of it, comes of it. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't say I could have done more because you couldn't have done any more.
No, exactly.
You've done everything you can. So I completely agree with you. So what was it like on that stage?
Bro, like, trust me.
Spitting
I've
your
literally
bars.
opened for artists and only 2 people in the crowd. So to see that, was like raw. It was amazing. It was such it was mad because prior to that, I knew that I had 2 major festivals coming up. So I just thought, okay, I've got to prepare myself mentally for this. I've got to, do you know what I mean? Because, you know, it's not like I've had back-to-back shows and that, you know what I'm saying? Still out here doing these things. So it was just like, okay, this is a defining moment for me. So it was just like, you know, before I reached the stage, I called my manager. I was like, yo, man, like, this is it, you know? And I was FaceTiming him and I'll show him the crowd. And he would just be like, raw, you know what I'm saying? But this is what... No, shout out Dwayne, man. Dwayne is another guy as well. That,
big up Dwayne.
You know, big up Dwayne, a great manager, like, you know what I'm saying, who's really, 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 really encouraged me a lot, you know what I'm saying? He's told me things that I needed to hear and he's helped me see a different light, a different approach to this thing. But it was a moment when so I had my DJ was setting up. So I remember he went and the crowd, the tent started to just
fill up.
As soon as he went on, they went nuts. It was almost like they knew who he was and they just went nuts.
This is your boy, your DJ?
Yeah, my boy, you know what I'm saying? And he was setting up and they went nuts, so they were just shouting. I was thinking, Quincy came with me at the time, so I looked at Quincy, I'm thinking, bro, get ready. This is it.
Down.
All the times in the studios, all this, planning. This is moments like this. This is
what you live for, innit?
Yeah, we live for. So it was a dope moment for me, and you know what I'm saying, we went there, done our thing. The people were just showing love, and to the point where I finished my set, and they were screaming out one more song. And I felt like, rah. I was like, yo, you lot don't want me to go and perform one song for him, and it was just like, I left and I felt like, yo, you know, I made the right decision. I made the right decision. Like this is what it feels like. This ain't a fluke anymore. 100%. Do you know what I mean? And
wavy.
A month later, then I done a thing with you know, I went to Roskilde, even a bigger crowd, crazy, and that's the set that, you know, Skepta came and like supported me on, like just showing me love and that, and so to just top it off, but it was just a madness. I'm not sure if you saw the footage of that.
I saw the footage.
It was just like,
it looks sick, but the crowd was huge.
Big,
man.
And to me it was just.
And you shut it down, obviously.
Yeah, thank God, because it's like, you know, being an artist in that sort of predicament, it's like it could go left. I could do something. I could trip. I could, you know, you just think bare thoughts in it. You could think, what if this? Oh no, I can't fuck up. But once you just go out there and just, you know what I'm saying, just do what you do. You know what I'm saying. All the times I'll be watching shows and I'm just thinking, oh my God, I want to do something like this, and I'm in the studio. I'm thinking, no, the crowd's good. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know this is who I am. This is my story. If you fuck with it. And
you get me? And then whatever, you can't worry about anyone else, can you?
I can't, you know what I'm saying? But it was such a good moment. Like, you know,
I'm happy. I can see it in your face, bro, the emotion,
it was a
bro.
moment, bro. It was a moment. I'm definitely going, but I have to, you know, I have
Sick.
to. But yeah, those are my two biggest festivals this year.
More to come, bro.
Yeah, more to come. You know what I'm saying? It's mad because, you know, it was a reminder to me, like, the fact that I didn't do no festival in my own backyard, like whether it's a wireless wedding or whatever.
Soon.
It was just a thing where, like, it's a big world out there.
100%.
So for musicians, like artists, don't be so discouraged if you ain't doing 1 million views on GRM, or you know, you like uploading music.
World.
You know what I'm saying? I've been uploading music on my own channel. You know, I've been on these other channels. You know what I mean? And it helps. Don't get me wrong, but you know, stick to your guns. I mean, you see the likes of Octavian now and Slow Tie.
I used to work with him and his squad, bro. Octavian.
You see what I'm saying?
That's mad.
Shout out Octavian. I mean, like you just see artists like him, like he's really had this privilege to really show other artists out there that we don't have to be a certain stigma to really shine in this thing. You get me? So it was just like me doing these festivals, just like there's a big world out there, man. Like I don't always have to feel like
think broad, innit, man?
Think broad, bro. Like,
don't think UK. UK's a tiny island.
It is, bro. It is. You know what I'm saying? As much as I would love to do a wireless, your Glastonbury's and et cetera, but it's a big world out there, and connecting with people out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like even when I done my check, you know, I was just walking around, you know, just engaging. I've like had different types. Like obviously they were all Czech, obviously, and they were just telling me, oh, you know, I've been listening to this song. I think, wow, I made that song like 3 years ago.
Yeah, literally.
Like, you know, and it's so amazing that someone from a whole different country can just connect with you. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. English is not his first language, but do you know what I mean? You're still connecting. So these are the little moments that, you know,
music is a beautiful thing, bro.
It's a beautiful thing, bro, man.
Trust me.
It's a beautiful thing, bro.
So you mentioned your manager, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Again, for people who may not be signed yet to a management team or who are in the process of finding a manager, how important is it to have someone who has like your best interests at the forefront?
Vital, man. I mean, to be honest with you, not to play down on the whole, you know, no, I do believe there's artists out there that can really do their own thing, but it gets to a certain time where as you grow, you need to have a solid team. I always believe that you need to have a solid team. Yeah, all the artists that we see, that we idolize, and you know, your Drakes and your Kendricks and your Stormzys, they have a solid team. That's what they all got in common. You get me? So in terms of having a manager that has my best interests, you know, a manager with pure intentions, it's a gift from God, man. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, like Dwayne has really been a guy where I can say that, you know what I'm saying, that that's really had my best interest, you know what I'm saying?
How long you been working with him?
You know what, to be honest, he's been trying to get me for like
so he was after you?
Yeah, it was after me, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Him and with guys like Paddy and that. So yeah, he was after me for a while, you know. I was with someone else, you know what I'm saying? And not to shrug them off, it wasn't a thing where they were doing a bad job, you know, or they never believed in me, whatever. I just felt like, I don't know, you know, when you just feel like, I don't know, maybe
there's a creative like disconnect.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
how did that conversation go about though? When you're like, okay, I want to end it with you guys. Is it like a contracted thing, or is
no,
it
it wasn't really. That's on a bright side. You know what I mean? It wasn't a contracted thing. You know what I'm saying? It was just a case where it was just like, you know, you fuck with me, I'll fuck with you, innit? This is what you want to do, this is what I'm gonna do, sort of thing. And there was certain, they. If I say them, they manage probably one of the biggest UK urban acts, innit? But for me, it was just a thing where it was just like,
because they managed that person, were you not like in the plans most of the time? Or?
Yeah, I mean, no, it wasn't. I just felt like, I don't know, how can I explain it? I felt like it could be that, they had a few others, like, and they were big, you know what I'm saying? They are big, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it wasn't something like, I couldn't live up to the expectation, but I just felt like maybe, there wasn't that sort of, yeah, do you know what I mean? If I've probably been the only artist, which that's my case now, do you know what I'm saying? It could be a different story. But, man, it's all good. Everything happens for a reason.
100%
Positive
agree
energy,
with that.
do you know what I'm saying?
Trust me. I completely agree with that.
Get me?
Okay, sick. So your music videos, for those of you who watch them, are very kind of like prominent and they leave a lasting impression. Especially on me, fam. When I watch your things, I'm like, yo, I want to use that baseball bat you got in that video and smash it up, fam. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my shot.
So what I wanted to know is like, your music videos, is it a lot of like background planning to them, or is it kind of like, this is what I feel like doing, so I'm just gonna do it, go with the flow kind of vibe?
Second one.
Yeah.
I feel like
again, it's like sticking to what you want to do. Like you're not going and doing things what other people want to do. You're just like following your instincts, basically.
Yeah, man. I'm not really, for those who really keep up with my music videos, I'm not really of a pre-packaged, video guy. I don't really like say, yo, man's got to have two whips and get me 5 models and
big booty bitches.
Shoot videos I don't even like with things I don't even own, like multis rappers.
I see. I respect that quote, fam. You don't own it, bro.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna come and
you're putting out this false facade, fam, and it's just like, what you getting gas for, bro? They're gonna come and collect that, fam, in about 3 hours.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's important. Like, of course you're gonna have rappers abroad. If that's your life, that's your life. You get me? If you know that's your life, you do your research. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna be questioning guys like Quavo when he's got 50 years because he lives that life. You get it? You get it? Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like with me, I always say to myself, I'm Paul STEPHAN for a reason. I'm not something Dizzle or some next alter ego that you expect me to have.
Young P,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
Little Steph.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, exactly. Little Steph. But yeah, man, like I said, with music, like I said, vulnerability is sort of like the prime sort of word I would like to use when it comes to my music videos. Sure. Like, I don't care. Like, if I want to shoot in the park and I've got something to say, I'm sitting on the bench, then let's shoot it and capture it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what man's on.
That's another thing I was actually going to ask you. We'll go back to the music videos in a sec, but your name, it's just your name, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my real name.
So you don't have like a little alter ego name like some people do.
You know what I mean? Obviously, people come up with some, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Little Steph.
Like, some people call me
I'm changing your name on my phone, bro.
Little Steph,
yeah. But it's the juxtaposition, innit? Because you're not actually little.
Could work, Little Steph. I was thinking of one the other day. I know that's something, I don't know. I was thinking, like, I was just saying, you know what? I want to be a rock star, man. I said, STEPHAN Rock. I might start saying that now. STEPHAN Rock. I was just getting gas. I said, I want to be a rock star.
Man was in the mirror in his boxers. STEPHAN Rock. STEPHAN Rock.
I was looking outside the mirror. I was like, man. Thinking, what else? I think I was watching like a Sheck West show. And I was thinking, nah, man, I just want to just rage, man. I was just want to rage. So, yeah, man, I'm getting lost now. But yeah, Paul STEPHAN's the name. It's my real name.
Cool, sick.
Yeah.
And do you think it's more beneficial to you to have just using your own personal name?
I feel like, especially with the history of UK MCs, it's almost like prominent that you gotta have like a tag, which is, of course, is part of the, like, what I'm saying, the tag is always another.
But you're like PS, innit?
Yeah, PS, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I mean, to be honest with you, doing music, I had other names, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh, so we're going back now, yeah?
Yeah, we go back.
So you might as well lay some of them down now,
bro. I'm joking, no, but yeah, like growing up, obviously doing music, obviously I had my alter ego and I had my sort of name. You know what I mean? I used to call myself Enemy. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me. I just said, I'm going to call myself Enemy. And I used to spell it as NME.
Oh, like the magazine.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, but like, or Enemy, like the enemy with an IE at the end. I had my own sort of like twang to it. But yeah, like, you know, don't ask me, I was just gassed. Exactly. Because I fell in that trap that, I've got to sound hard. Man, I got to have a bad man name. You know what I'm saying? Although I was around a certain type of culture around me, a certain type of environment, but it's almost like, you know what I mean? So my approach to music, which like end of 2012, I thought to myself, I'm not gonna come on enemy. Like I've seen the life, I've grown up a little, I've seen some few things, and I want to have a new approach to this thing. You know what I'm saying? So Paul STEPHAN, I'm gonna stick with it. This is who I am, and I'm gonna show the people that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say, yo, I've got £2.50 in my account. I'm gonna rap that to you. You know what I'm saying? If I want to show you that, listen, I'm going through this. That's Paul STEPHAN. Do you know what I'm saying?
And you can't get sick of your own name, innit? You could like put a fake name or like an alter ego and be like, actually, I don't like this after 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just mad.
Unless you actually want to change your name like legally, then you're stuck with Paul STEPHAN, bro.
Get me, man. And I ain't look back, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the name, man.
Sick.
Trust me.
P.S.
Watch out.
Yeah, you don't know.
Watch out. It's gonna be everywhere, man.
Paul STEPHAN, bro. Yes. 2020.
Yeah.
It's a big
I know
year.
It's almost like a cliche thing when the end of the year approaches and you're focusing on it, but I really feel like, especially with what's happening this year, I feel like 2020 is
a big thing.
Big thing.
Good.
You heard it here first, man.
Yeah.
The Puff Podcast.
Jeez, there we go, fam.
You heard it here first.
First ever interview, bro. Before he gets 100k followers.
Yo, 2020. Say no more, man.
This is what I was talking about, bro. Going back to your music videos, I think they're fucking jokes, bro. Some of them, bro. What was the music video? It was called Sorry Mum, bro. Where you're sat in a mini, fam. Bro, big man like Paul is sat in a mini. I can just about fit into a mini, fam. I think that is. I don't think people realize how actually funny that is.
Yeah, bruv. Good. I love it.
It is so hilarious. And you're rapping serious. Yeah. Sorry Mum. And he's sat in like the smallest car possible.
Yeah,
bro.
Man. I love it. Stupid, mad, fresh. You get me,
bruv. I think it's epic, bro.
Man, I love, bro. Love. Like, obviously, at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Because you know why? Like, I think that's something I would do as well.
Yeah.
Like, I might get like a massive like a Range Rover or something, and then like get an extra step. I'll put like an extra step, stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? I think definitely. It's hilarious.
Yo, bro. Like, trust me, it was just because I wanted to show like a different. It was like two scenery. So I don't know if you clocked like there was one where I was sitting in a mini, and there was one when I was sitting in a Benz, and the police was pulling me up. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows like the transition of like, okay, I don't want to live a life that doesn't fit me. So that was the expression I was trying to mark. So obviously I don't fit in a Mini Cooper, but it's like I have to drive one because this is what I'm left with. So you get me? So like the concept of sorry mum, like, okay, sorry mum, even if I got to do something to get out of this, do you know what I'm saying? And even when the feds are stopping me, then sorry, innit, this is, do you know what I'm saying? So to just give that whole clear sort of approach to why I was just sitting in a Mini and that, because of course it didn't make sense, but the whole expression was,
but it makes sense, man. It makes sense to me. I thought it fit perfectly. And again, like going back to your lyrics and stuff, when you're rapping about something that you're actually going through, again, you don't have to actually tell fake stories like a lot of people do these days, bro. Whapping and joking. Bro, none of you do that, bro. Do you know what I'm saying, fam? So you're actually telling a story that is relevant to you. And again, it adds that human element. And that's what people connect with, I think.
Yeah.
And I think, again, that's what adds the longevity to your career. When you're talking about something that's actually relevant to people, that's going to have a long-term effect on them. And so, again, like you said in the Czech Republic, they'll listen to songs you made 3 years ago because they're timeless. They will always be relevant. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly. And that's such a important, thing that that like just the whole longevity and just being able to connect.
Because you're in it for the long run, bro. Of course, bro. Because now music careers, they happen overnight, fam. You could have the first song you could ever make could be a banger.
Alex from Glasgow, innit?
That guy, man, he gets me mad. Don't even get me started, fam. That guy gets me mad.
You know what? Yeah.
Daddy, can I have money for Glasgow, please? And I look at him now, bro. Man, sponsored by Boohoo.
Oh, you know what?
Daddy, I've run out of money.
What can you do? Like,
what can you do? Exactly.
I can't blame him. Like, it's not his fault. He didn't plan it. Like,
Boohoo, it's true, bro.
It's not him. Like, he's just. What can he do? You know what I'm saying?
But you know what I'm saying? As in, like, overnight.
Overnight, yeah. Exactly.
But as in, these guys are not performers. They're not artists. Yeah. They have no back catalogue of music. They've never performed to a live audience. Yeah. They don't know what it's like to work under pressure in studio environments when you got like 3 hours to turn over a verse. So that's they're enjoying the instant money, but as in long term, in 2 years, bruv, Alex and Glasgow is going to be nobody, fam. Even though he met Thiago Silva, the real Thiago Silva recently, fam.
Yeah, obviously, but come on, you think about it.
Do you understand where I'm coming from, though? You're in it for kind of like Russ from America. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I know, right? Come on.
Yeah, as in he's released track after track after track after track.
Respect the hustle.
Look at him. He's built something. He's built a foundation for himself, and I feel like you're doing the same thing as well.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts. And that's sort of. I'm glad that you said that because you know what, man. I felt like I mean, we will touch on in terms of my music and what I'm bringing out soon, but I feel like right now I'm at a stage where, you know what, that I really slept on the idea of building, and you know, and just thinking I need to take shortcuts or I need to take the elevator, but man's need to take the stairs. Artists need to learn to take the stairs. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's gonna be a bit slow. You know what I mean? You might have small tutu views and that, but it's worth it. And I feel like that's something I've learned and I've stuck with this year, and it's paid off massively. Do you know what I mean? I almost feel like I'm a new artist. You know, I'm raring to go again. You know what I'm saying? It's important for an artist to keep reinventing myself, to keep this refreshed energy going. So, yeah, man, like, definitely. You know, someone like Russ, yeah, he's been, you know what I'm saying? He come a long way, man. You know what I'm saying? He's just been, and that's how you got to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? Just take the stairs, build, have the patience, build, and be honest with yourself, man. That's one thing it took me a while to really, you know, to adapt to, just being honest with myself. You know what I'm saying? Just like be honest with myself, you know what I'm saying, and find out what really works for me, and things will be a bit clearer. Do you know what I'm saying?
Just like, take it from there.
So yeah, man, definitely.
I hear you. So back to your music. Hit and Miss again is another music video.
Oh yeah.
No more hit and misses. Sorry.
Yeah, no more hit and misses. Yeah.
So what I liked about that video is you switched up the aspect ratio from a 69 to 4:3. So it's got a much more kind of like, we talk about tunnel vision. Yeah. It's much more focused on the middle of the screen, and the whole video is you rapping at the camera, sat on a bed. Am I right? Yeah, and in the mirror, instead of a reflection, there's you again rapping from a different angle. Yeah. So that's a very creative approach to that video. Has that got some sort of like connection to what you're saying, or like how did that whole idea come about? Leading on from that, do you have the whole creative process from a video? Does it come from you specifically, like that idea for that thing, or
I think sometimes
with your friends as well?
But I feel like with that one in particular, shout out Wawa, man. We all just linked up, and you know, Wawa is a bad man director. He's doing his thing, but we shot that on his phone. It's mad.
So you can't tell.
You couldn't tell.
How can you tell?
That's art, man.
It's art,
like,
exactly.
Fuck all that.
It's whatever you make use. Like you gotta make use of what you have.
Exactly. So
because the main thing is you put something out.
Exactly.
So you remain relevant and people see your stuff.
Yeah.
They'll care less if it doesn't look as good as it should. Then at least they're caring about something and not about nothing.
Exactly.
Put it out, bro. This is advice to everyone. I've been through it. I'm sure Paul's been through it as well. Everyone's been through it. If you got something and you don't think it's that good, just put it out, fam.
Put it out, man.
Because at least your name and you're in the world of the internet, fam. Because, bruv, you will get forgotten in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
trust 2 weeks, you will get forgotten.
Trust me.
You have to remain relevant. You have to remain consistent. Yeah. And consistent is probably the main word that I would go with, man. Just put stuff out there, bruv. I see people who are not even that good, all due respect to them. But the reason why they're in the position they are is because they're releasing stuff every other day. Yeah. Little Instagram videos. If you're doing music every month or something, do you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, bruv. And again, this is what Gary V. Gary Vaynerchuk. He's an American businessman, basically. He came from like Russia.
Sounds familiar though, isn't he?
He's come from. He was born in like Russia, and he's an American now. He's a multi-millionaire, but he gives sick advice, and he's like, just believe in your product, bruv, and the people will come.
Yes, that's it.
It don't matter if you got. He says if you don't matter if you got 10 views, 20 views, it's all matters about the content.
Yes.
If the content is good, people will find it.
Facts.
And again, with your music and stuff as well, I found it, bruv, and I ain't looked back since. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, trust me,
and word of mouth is such an important thing, because I'm like, yo, have you listened to this? Whenever I'm in the car, I'm like, yo, let me play this track. And then they're loving it as well, so then they're hooked onto it as well, and it kind of like just stems out from there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's important, man. Yeah, no doubt, man.
And the only reason people are doing it is because of the quality of the product. Because I wouldn't tell anyone if it wasn't that good, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. No, you're definitely right. And that it falls back to what I was saying in terms of really just, you know, knowing what works for me and, you know, being honest with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the whole fact of just having this ability to connect with people, and not like I'm just selling myself to just make sure I please the listener, but, you know, let people see that sincerity, what I'm on, of what I'm saying, and no one's gonna mess with it. That's the world of music. Yeah. You know, it's like X Factor. You know, Simon might fuck with this guy. You know what I'm saying? But what's his name? I don't know. The other judges might think no. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like that. You know, it's an like, it's full of opinions. You know what I'm saying? So
people love to give opinions.
They love to give opinions, exactly. Thanks to YouTube and you know.
But it's just part of the parcel of the industry you're in, bruv. You know what I'm saying? You just got to take it on the chin, bruv. You cannot go in this soft, bruv. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, again, that whole Channel U thing and growing up where we grew up, bruv, we got a thick skin, man. You can't let that shit affect you.
Come on. Exactly.
It's just part of the... people are going to hate, bruv. Yeah. But that means you're doing the right thing.
It's a different era now, innit? Back then, like,
mad, innit?
Looking at the whole
cyberbullying, bruv.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's an actual thing.
Get me?
Bruv, you get bullied online, bruv. It's mad, innit? Now I laugh, bruv. I used to play Call of Duty with my brothers, and then people used to chat shit, and we used to just boy them off, bruv. But now people actually like... Yeah. It's really affecting kids, man.
It's mad.
It's mad.
But I thank God that I was born in the era where it was just like, you know,
the 90s.
Like, thick skin, like, wasn't really defined by the internet or what society says we should. You know what I mean?
Listen to cassettes. I remember I used to have Puff the Magic Dragon on cassette, bro. Remember that tune, bro? And then I had videotapes as well, bro. Winding up the videotape. Mad thing, bro. Then DVD.
Throwback.
Mad thing. So we're gonna talk about your latest single. It is your latest one, Straight War. You released like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Again, wavy video. Bruv, I think I remember. I don't want to embarrass myself, but I could recite the chorus if you want me to. Bro. Straight war on my mind. Man is defined. Look at my fist. I'm one of a kind. Pull out my weapons. It's that I shine.
Trust me, man. And yeah, again,
bruv, you know what it is, bro? I wanted to learn it because it's so catchy. Bruv, I'm so dumb, yeah. I would listen to it on repeat, but I wouldn't put it repeat on Spotify. I'd go back on my headphones. Then the next track will come, and I go back on the headphones again. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I might as well just put it on the +1 repeat, and then all the way to work, I'm just like,
love,
doing your whole hand motion from colours, bruv, just on the train. Bruv, just like absolutely just. It is a wavy track, but like you said, at the end of that, it says to be continued.
Oh yeah,
more to come. So why don't you touch a little bit about your plans for the rest of this year?
Yeah,
coming into 2020. What can we expect from you?
It's just definitely you're gonna see a whole energetic Paul STEPHAN. I feel like I'm gonna show a side that people hasn't seen in terms of my approach to music. You know what I'm gonna be rapping about. But yeah, like I just feel like it's just get ready in it. Like I feel like it's just time to be a rebel. You know, and just take what's mine, you know what I'm saying?
100.
And I'm pretty sure everyone can relate to that, man. When you know that enough is enough, you know, it's like, yeah, it gets like that. And I just feel like, you know what, you'll see it through my music, you know what I mean? I've got a EP coming out. I haven't put a date on it, but looking to release it this month. It's called New Approach to an Old Dream.
Sick. This month, yeah?
This month.
September.
I'm not going to put a date on it,
but okay.
Mark my words, man. You'll definitely get a cheeky little body from me. And
what, 5-6 tracks?
Yeah, around the 5-6 tracks. And yeah, man, I think like people are definitely gonna get a taste of what's to come in the following year and what sort of wave I'm gonna be on. And yeah, man, what I'm gonna have to put up with.
Mad.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm excited, bro, man.
What's it called again?
New Approach to an Old Dream.
New Approach to an Old Dream.
Not odd.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, that's what.
So it's kind of like, from what I get, that's like you're doing the same thing, but you're approaching it from a different angle. Reinventing yourself.
That's it.
And
that's it, bro.
I'm gassed for that.
That's it, bro. Let's go, bro.
Come on, fam. So, bro, live performances. You got anything planned or like?
When can I see? I feel like, damn, I'm like, bro. Jesus Christ. Yo, G. I'm trying to compose myself. I don't know if you can see it, but blood.
That pizza, bro. Yo, done you dirty, fam.
That cold pizza, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Right now, from the now to the end of the year, I just want to focus, lock myself in a studio prison, and obviously you will see a lot more videos, a lot more content. But yeah. Have
you ever thought of doing like a kind of like fly on the wall little series? Because I think your vibe, along with the SMF crew, is a good vibe. It's fun to be around.
Okay.
Have you ever thought of releasing like little 4 or 5 minute clips of just stuff you do throughout the day?
Yeah. Do you know what's mad? Like we was discussing that. You know what I mean? Because Quincy as well, bands with Q. Like if you follow him as well, like he just gives his own sort of opinion on certain things that he brings up, certain topics, and he's funny to watch. You know what I'm saying? So it's developed a whole different, you know, energy around him in terms of, you know, what he's about. But I've always wanted to show a different side not a different, but another side to me, you know, apart from the music, you know, because I feel like it's important, and I feel like it's another layer for me to give to people to have more of an understanding of what I'm on and what I'm trying to do. But yeah, definitely, man, like, in terms of like fashion orientated, a day in the life and maybe in the studio or whatever. But yeah, that's something that we're planning on doing, especially for the following year. You know, it's important to give a clearer picture, you know, of what I'm on,
you're about,
what we
man.
represent, and why we do this. You know what I'm saying?
And this is phase 1 of that, bro.
This
People get to know you, innit, man?
Exactly, you know.
Get to know Paul STEPHAN.
Large up for having me here. And
bruv, like I said, man,
you know
you're one of the first people I thought when I was like, you know, I got to do this podcast thing for myself.
Guy!
And I was like, I got to get this brother
What's
on,
goody?
bruv. And then it was perfect that we met as well in person. I was like, yo, I'm going to get this guy on, man. So
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, man, slowly but surely we're getting there, man.
But no, I need to make sure, like, so live performances, have you actually got any penciled in at the moment for this year, next year? Or is it like something you're working on?
Not this year. Like, I felt like once I done when I finished my little festival tour, I thought to myself, do you know what? Like, I need a massive retention of this. Okay. So once I know I've done my last festival at Denmark, I said to myself, do you know what, man? To the point, like, to even be more open, I had a little job, part-time job. I left it because it was just like such an eye-opener. I said, you know what, man, like, this is something I want to do. Every week, latest every 2 weeks, festival or show. I want to, like, of course, I want to perform everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Every day, if possible. But, you know, it's just like, okay, once I'd done that, I just knew there's a lot of work to do, you know, in terms of music and strategy. You know, and like I said, you know, that's what sums up the whole EP that I'm doing, New Approach to an Old Dream, because it was such an eye opener, bro. Like, this year I've been blessed to perform, to do my largest like show ever, thousands of people, and it was just like, okay.
Have you got any like official footage for that yet?
It's some guy from Denmark. I think his name's, I don't know, I forgot his name, but yeah, I need to email him. I've got his email.
Yeah, get that, bro, man.
Make it'd be nice to have like, extra footage. But
get that, man.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of penciling any sort of shows right now, no, not right now, because I just want to lock myself in the studio and
that, man.
Like I said, 2020. Yeah.
So Puff Podcast, obviously the name.
Come on.
We forgot to do it last week, but we kind of had this thing called the Puff of the Day. So something people can take in.
Okay.
Inhale.
Yes.
So again, we spoke about people who may be in the process of kind of like at that crossroads. Young Paul STEPHAN is listening to this. What kind of advice would you give yourself? Would you change anything if that? Because I'm the type of person who's like, you know what, I just wouldn't really change much. I'm happy with what happened.
Yeah,
but in, what kind of advice would you give yourself if you were watching this 15 years ago?
Oh, man. You know what? The advice
or things to watch out for, be wary of. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure there's a lot of sharks.
Yeah, exactly. You know what, man? I feel the advice I would have given to my older self is just to really, really, really have a war mentality, man. And why I say this is because in life, it's a battle. It's battle everywhere. And as much as a lot of people don't emphasize on that, I always realize that, you know what, man, whether it's something you want to achieve, whether it's something I need to do, it requires some sort of war mentality. Like, I need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Despite the barriers I may face. You know what I'm saying? So, and over the years, I've sort of lost that, and I've sort of like allowed myself to be wayward in certain things, and, you know, allowed myself to be influenced in a way I shouldn't have been. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like, you know, to have a war mentality and to,
you got to be selfish, innit?
Got to be selfish, exactly.
Because people, if they have to, they will leave you behind.
They'll leave you behind. Oh, bro,
they will leave you behind, man.
That's spiritual, man. That got to me. They'll leave you behind. So I just feel like I would have definitely told my younger self to just war ready, focus, and attack at all times.
But again, that's something you learn as you go along, innit?
Of course.
Obviously, you approach this whole thing trusting people. Because they think they got you in your best interest.
Best interest.
But again, now if people are listening to this, then just don't be a dickhead to people, but as in have your interests at the forefront, and remember that you are the most important thing, and your journey. You need to get to whatever you need to do, whatever you need to do to get to where you're gonna be.
Facts. You need to be selfish so you can help later. Sometimes 100%. It gets like that. You know what I mean? Even people can't, you know, understand it, but eventually you will. So just to be war ready, man. Like, honestly, it's tough out there, you know. I mean, even, let's be real, man. Living in the UK is not the easiest places to live, especially London. Do you know what I'm saying? It's tough, man.
Tough.
You know what I mean, you want to talk about looking for jobs. It's tough. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? So you need to have this, and obviously people have their own way of dealing with things, you know, and dealing with what they're going through. You know, whether it's doing that or doing that. you know. But it's all a result of because, you know, they're probably defeated mentally. They've lost the war in that, you know, mentally. So
and yeah, it's so true because once this is lost,
what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
It's very difficult to get out of it. You got to maintain that mental strength and understand that there's something you're working towards.
Come on.
And you got to do what you got to do to get there. Ideally it'd be a straight line, but it never is.
It never is.
It'll go left, it'll go right, but as long as you got to fall in love with the process, you got to fall in love with the journey.
Yeah. Because
that is what's gonna ultimately, once you get there, you'll be like, shit, I've gone through all of this to get here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And bruv, it's you got to fall in love with the process, fall in love with the journey, because that's the longest part, bruv. Because when you get there, bruv, people tend to like, okay, cool, they set the next target. They don't actually appreciate where they got. You know what I'm saying? That's very deep as well. But fam,
Puff podcast, baby.
This has been mad, bro.
Listen, I'm honoured.
I've learned a lot about you. A lot of things I already knew because of like the kind of like vibe I got from your music. But bruv, I'm mad gas for like what the rest of the year and what 2020 has got in store for you, fam.
Love, bro, man. Vice versa for you, man. You're doing great things as well, bro.
I'm trying, man. Again, like it's been a long process, man.
Trust me, I'm seeing it, like, and it's important. Like,
I really appreciate that, bro.
No, love, man. This is what it's about: maintaining that whole positive frequency and just making sure we bounce off each other. You know, we're all growing. I completely
agree with you, man. Positive frequency. You release that, you emit it, and that's what comes back to you. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
In the form of a man called Paul STEPHAN. You know what I'm saying?
Go, baby.
So yeah, that's the Puff podcast. I think it's a perfect way to kind of round things off. Yeah. Man, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
Big up for the people behind the scenes as well. For listening to us ramble on for an hour and a half.
Let's go.
It's been an hour and a half, you know.
Swear.
It's been 1 hour and 38 minutes. It's mad,
you don't realize. Raw. We've been talking all that.
Yeah, well, 1 hour and 38 minutes.
That's crazy.
It's mad,
but it just shows, once you
once you're on the flow, you're on the flow, bro.
We're in our element.
100%.
There's no time once we're in our element, bro.
And I actually like this guy, so.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Bro, I like you too, bro. I like you too, man. Trust. Nah, bro. That's what it is, man. We link up.
Bro, it's a vibe, man. It's a vibe. And like I said, I'm a genuine fan. Do you know what I'm saying? Of his music. Not only that I know him like personally, like I'm expecting. Like I'm not even wanting. I'm expecting big things from this guy. So
thank you, man. No doubt.
Let's keep it locked. If you don't follow him, how can they follow you?
Yes. So obviously the hub of my, everything, my updates. Obviously my Instagram, Paul STEPHAN _SMF. I am active on Twitter as also STEPH. So that's STERL. STEPH.
I'll put all the ads and stuff below.
Yeah, I see it. But
just so you know, and Spotify and everything.
Yeah, Spotify, Paul STEPHAN. Locked.
YouTube.
Get me? Yes, YouTube, the Stupid Man Fresh Entertainment page. But yeah, man. Obviously,
new. If you just search Paul STEPHAN, then
Paul STEPHAN, everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Like new project coming. You know what I'm saying? So keep locked for that. You know what I'm saying? And
new project
coming, man.
Our dream.
And we're moving.
We going.
The Puff podcast, baby.
Big up. We out, man.
We out.
Peace and love.
Love. Cheese.